Hello world, this is Chris McKee with Alamo Music Center. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we have a new video, a review of sorts, a rundown, if you will, of 2017 acoustic guitars ideally suited for those who are starting out, for the beginner. And for you beginners out there, never despise humble beginnings, okay? We all started somewhere. The benefit for you is you have some of the very best guitars to choose from, which was not the case for me when I started playing 20 years ago. So, you know, my first guitar, and I've talked about it before, I really wanted to play guitar. My mom thought it was a fad, something to get chicks. It wasn't entirely wrong, but it wasn't a fad either. I really wanted to play. And I had to join mariachi band in high school to do it, and I grew up in the Rio Grande Valley. I was like one of a few white kids in the mariachi, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I needed a guitar. So I'm like, okay, you got to buy me a guitar. And we went to Mexico, and she bought me the biggest piece of junk for 50 bucks that we could find. It was black, and the strings were about an inch up off the fretboard, and I played that guitar nonstop till my fingers bled, and I'm playing all these years later. And so, you know, I guess it worked well enough, but it was a difficult guitar to play. And even after that, some of my earliest guitars were difficult guitars to play. And you know, quite frankly, with modern innovation and building manufacturing practices, the amount of guitar you can get for the money is insane. Okay, you guys are really, really blessed. If you're starting out and you're buying a guitar for the first time, you have a lot to choose from. Now, we've got a handful of guitars here to show you. That being said, before you start typing away at your keyboard, I can hear the keyboard clicks now from some of you. Listen, in no way do we intend to exclude any guitars by making this video. We're not saying that these guitars are far superior to every other guitar on the market. There's a lot of guitars that we carry and that we don't carry that we can't feature in this video. So if you have your favorite guitar and I'm not talking about it today, it's still a really good guitar. And we've gotten some comments about that in the past, so just know there's a lot of brands that I enjoy that aren't here. There's a lot of models that I think are great that aren't here today. So what we do have here comes down to a few simple things. I wanted to look at guitars that were fairly new, either last year or this year, that are new to the market, and guitars that have good playability, good tone, and are a good value. So those are the things that we're looking at, because I think those are the things that are most important when you are looking to buy your first acoustic guitar. Some of these are acoustic, some of them are acoustic electric, and we'll talk about some of the features as I go through each one. We'll also try to show you why you might choose, say, the guitar in my lap versus one over my shoulder, or vice versa. So without any further ado, let's get to it. So the guitar that I have right here is a Fender CC-60SCE model. Now this is new for 2017, and we've done a full review of this new Classic Series line from Fender Guitars. Now they have some new talent over at Fender Guitars from a company that I already am a big fan of, and their impact on these guitars is already being felt. So if you'd like to see a full review of this and the other guitars in this lineup, search for the CD60 or CC60 series on our video page on YouTube. Now this guitar is the CC body. Now the CC is basically a compact body, like a triple O body or folk size guitar. It's smaller than a Dreadnought. The Dreadnought body is also available, which is going to have the same features, just in a larger body. These guitars are available with or without a pickup. The one that I have in my hand is the cutaway version with a pickup system in it, and this goes for $299. For $199, you can get the non-pickup option in either this body size or the Dreadnought body size. Now the reason that you want to look at this guitar if you are new to playing guitar is the features are phenomenal for the price point. These new guitars for 2017 from Fender play remarkably well. They have a nut that's about 1/11/16. It's not too narrow, it's not too wide. It's going to be very comfortable in most people's hands. Rounded edges of the fretboard, a nice thin neck, it's glossed on the back, and the scale length All of these things have kind of combined to make a guitar with great playability, which is important when you're starting out, so it feels really good in the hand. They also feature solid spruce or mahogany tops, depending upon which one you end up getting, and it has scalloped bracing, and so that means that you have more resonance and projection out of the guitar. This particular model gives you the cutaway and a pickup system, which was co-designed between Fender and Fishman. It's a great pickup system with a built-in tuner. Not anything too fancy, but it's definitely going to do more than get the job done. So this is a great guitar, again, both in this body size and the Dreadnought, and should be on anyone's list who's looking for a new acoustic or acoustic electric guitar and is just starting out. Let's take a look. So the next guitar is from Yamaha, and this should be no stranger to our channel. We're a big fan of these. This is the FS830, and starting last year when they redesigned the FG850 series at Yamaha with the 800 series, they really revamped it with some beautiful aesthetics, wood combinations, and some changes to the bracing that enhanced the tone considerably with the scallop bracing pattern that they're using. They play great, they sound great, and the 830 is one of my favorites because it looks beautiful with laminate rosewood, back and sides, fully bound body, neck, and headstock, and an abalone rosette. The sound's great, and you can get it in either this folk body size or a Dreadnought body size. This, without a pickup, starting in at $299. So it's a great value, and we've always pretty much got these in stock. So if you want to try great looking, great playing Yamaha that's going to last for years, this would be the thing to look at. Now let's give it a listen so you can hear what it sounds like. So we have another Yamaha in my lap, again, not something that's uncommon around here. This is also in that new FG850 FS830 series. This is new for 2016 and carries over this year the FG850. Now this guitar goes for about $399, so it's a lot of guitar for the money. The difference is from what we just looked at is that it features a solid mahogany top, laminate mahogany back and side, lighter mahogany binding, and a bound headstock and fingerboard, along with some beautiful abalone inlay for the rosette. The contrasting mahogany makes this one looker of a guitar, but the other benefit is that you get a mahogany top. And I've talked about this on this channel before. Mahogany has a wonderful, warm, mid-range, rich tone and a natural compression that will control and round the volume of the notes that you're playing, even as you lay into it more. It's one of my favorite guitars if I'm playing anything that's kind of bluesy, pop, or if I say do something in drop D, because it responds really, really well to that. Having it in a combination, in a package like this, for only around $400, that sounds great and plays well is a real treat. And like I said, you guys are lucky who are starting right now. So if those genre of music, those styles that I mentioned appeal to you and you want a slightly bigger guitar, take a look at the FG850. If maybe you want something that's fingerstyle and you want to do some slow blues and E on it, take a look at the FS, the smaller body version of this, FS850, which is also a great guitar and same price point. So let's give a listen to the mahogany top and you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so now we're going to go back to Fender with another new for 2017 model, also part of the Classic series. This is the CD-140SCE. Now, this guitar is very similar to its stablemate, the CD-60 series, but you get a few bonus things. The pickup is different. It's a different design from Fender that's been tried and true for many years. It's the preset system on here. It's still solid top with scalloped bracing. It's laminate back and sides. It has that new redesigned fast playing neck with the rounder radius, shorter scale, and nut width that just makes it a really, really comfortable neck to play. So the playability is there, the tone is there, the pickup system's there, and you get a hard shell case included with this guitar, all at $399. So for about $100 more than the CD-60 model or CC-60 model that we looked at, you get a few bonus features in the pickup system and with the case. So all around, really a great guitar, and like I said, it's new for 2017, so check out our in-depth review elsewhere on our video page on YouTube, but this definitely should be in the category of guitar that you're looking at if you are new to the acoustic guitar. Let's take a listen. Okay, so now we're moving on to a brand that has been in the American guitar business for many, many, many years, but has also changed hands a few times and now finds itself in some wonderful custody with Cordoba, and that is Guild Guitars. Now, Guild has been an American manufacturer since the 60s and gets its name from the guild of guitar makers that came together in order to build these wonderful instruments. They were one of the first guitar manufacturers to start building guitars with laminate back and sides, using an arch in the back in order to get rid of the bracing that would otherwise be necessary and increase projection. They got these ideas from building laminate hollow body arch top guitars, and so they're a great brand. Anyone who's been playing guitar for a while knows of Guild. They're jumbos, they're big maple guitars. They've been around for a long, long time. A few years ago, Guild found a home with Cordoba guitars. A lot of the manufacturing moved to China, to California for the American built stuff, and to China for guitars like this, which is the D-240E. Now, Cordoba's been building guitars in China for a long time in their manufacturing facilities, and they really know what they're doing in order to bring an overseas guitar with great quality back to the United States. This guitar really punches above its weight class. So, give you an idea, this guitar is $399. You get a dreadnought shape in the D240. There's also an OM240, which is an OM body, with a pickup system, laminate back and sides, scalloped bracing, solid spruce top, bone nut, saddle, open back tuners, and a wonderful, very vintage-inspired look. And it's got a vintage-inspired tone, too. It's got a nice open sound, great playability, with a bit of that 60s, kind of lo-fi warmth that we get from a lot of those old Guilds and Gibsons from the era. So this is a guitar you definitely should look at. Oh, and it comes with a really, really nice gig bag from Guild too. So bonus, it basically is built to the spec and design of a lot of guitars from other manufacturers that cost several $100s more than this one. Okay, so Epiphone. Epiphone's a great brand. Epiphone has a wonderful history. Epiphone, by the way, in case you didn't know, existed on its own outside of Gibson guitars. It was actually a competitor to Gibson and was purchased by Gibson and now exists as an affordable brand in the Gibson lineup. This is the Texan. It's inspired by a 1964 Texan model Epiphone guitar. And it is that classic slope-shouldered dreadnought look that we all know and love from guitars like the J45. But it's a little bit different. It's got the larger Epiphone headstock here, and really just it's just got a 60s vibe and look to it. Solid spruce top, scalp bracing. It's got a wonderful toner on the top to give it that aged look. These nice little parallelogram inlays, and these vintage accurate tuners here with the white buttons. Overall, it's a really, really good looking guitar. It's laminate mahogany back and sides, nice cream binding on the body, and a shadow pickup system in this guitar. So this is just at home on your couch, as in the coffee shop, or at church, or in your band. This is a great guitar. It plays really, really well. In fact, this setup rivals some other guitars that I've played that cost much more than this one does. The price point on this, by the way, is $448. So coming in at under the $500 price point, you get a great vintage-inspired guitar with some modern appointments that plays really, really, really well. So you should definitely be checking this out. The tone that you're going to get, kind of like the Guild, it's a vintage-inspired tone, but maybe more so than the Guild, it has definitely got that throatiness that we think of when we think of like a J45 or you know, a 60s Gibson. It's kind of this lo-fi throaty tone that's great again for bluesy stuff, or you know, folk pop to just kind of Delta blues. So pretty cool. Let's check it out. Okay, so now it's time to give the little guy a shot. This is the most diminutive guitar in our lineup today. But when I say little guy, I don't mean the brand, because Martin Guitars is a juggernaut. Martin Guitars is one of the oldest family-owned companies in the world. And we have Martin to thank for a lot of the innovations in acoustic steel string guitars that we have today. Little things, you know, like the dreadnought body shape, or scallop bracing, or a 14-fret neck, or pickup systems in acoustic guitars. If you look at some of those firsts, Martin was there. So this is a first from Martin, starting with, I believe, last year, maybe the year before, kind of coming into its own with this model as well. It's starting to meet some new options, but this is the Dreadnought Junior from Martin Guitars. What is the Dreadnought Junior? I'm glad you asked. So the Dreadnought Junior is basically a smaller travel-size guitar from Martin. It is a competitor to Taylor's GS Mini, but it has some benefits over the GS Mini. Most notably, it's all solid. Yep, all solid. Solid top, back, sides. It's got a solid neck on it. It's not a Stratobond neck. It's a solid piece of wood. It's a Pele for the back. It's a Pele for the sides. It's a Pele for the top on this model. There's also a spruce top model available as well. Did I mention it has a pickup system? It's got a pickup system. No hole in the side here. It's right here in the sound hole. You've got volume and tone with a Fishman undersaddle pickup system. Did I mention it comes with a bag? It comes with a bag. I didn't mention that, but it comes with a bag. For $5.99, you get a solid Martin with a gig bag, with a pickup system, in a nice travel size, gig-friendly, camp-friendly, couch-friendly guitar. It's really great, actually. So we're a big fan of this. One of the things I really like about it is the scale's a little bit longer than what you'd find on a GS Mini, and the nut is 1 3/4 inch. And I really like that width. It gives you a bit more space for picking, for finger picking, for flat picking and whatnot, but it's not too wide. It's not that 2-inch or 1 11/16 or anything like that that we might find on some really wider nuts. So all in all, it's a great package. The spruce top's wonderful. We've done some reviews on that before, and that gives you this wonderful bright tone paired with this Pele, you know, which sounds a lot like mahogany. When you use a Pele as a top, which is this new model that we've got here, well, it does basically what you hear from mahogany a lot, but maybe with a bit more treble bite. So you're going to have nice, warm mid-range, some controlled dynamics with that compression, but a bit more treble coming through there, which really makes it spanky. It can get spanky when you want it. It can get spanky. In the meantime, $5.99. Check it out. Let's give it a listen to. So, the Martin Dreadnought Jr. has a big brother. Lots of them, actually. But this is one that's in kind of the same price point that we're talking about. This is Martin's DX1RAE model with a macassar back and sides, laminate macassar back and sides. It's the same price as the Dreadnought Jr. at $5.99. This is part of Martin's X series of guitars built in their manufacturing plant in Mexico. Basically, Martin's know-how done just south of the border saves you a lot of money and gives you a great guitar for the price. This guitar features a solid spruce top with scalloped bracing. We've got Richlite fingerboard and bridge, which is going to wear over the years wonderfully and never need to be oiled. The back and sides are HPL laminate with macassar ebony grain, and it has a Stratobond neck. 50 Stratocasters had to die to build this one neck, so you should appreciate this guitar. That's not true. There's no Stratocasters that had to die to build this neck. But doesn't that look cool? A bunch of laminated pieces of wood together and then carved into a neck shape. Closed back tuners. You've got a strap button. I forgot what it was called for a second. It's called a strap button. And then a Fishman pickup system as well in this wonderful guitar. And it's got that great, rich, woody, throaty Martin sound that so many people love. It's great for blues, for bluegrass, for flat picking. It's great. It's just got a wonderful, full, rich tone. Again, in an affordable package. So, check this guitar out. If you've always dreamed for a Martin, you're starting out and maybe you can't swing for a D18 or D28, that's okay. We've got you covered with the X series. So let's take a listen. Okay, so this next guitar is definitely new for 2017. It's real exciting. Taylor has kind of gone into the cupboard, if you will. They've gone into their Skunk Works division and they've worked out what would be the ideal guitar for someone who's starting out. So Andy Powers and his wonderful minions got together and they thought, let's see, what is all the stuff that we need and none of the stuff that we don't in order to make an affordable, high-quality Taylor guitar that has the features that will most benefit someone who's just starting out? That kind of seems like a perfect scenario, right? Well, here it is. It's actually part of an entire lineup for Taylor that's new for 2017 and was released at the NAMM show. And that is the Academy series. As the name suggests, this is designed with the beginning student in mind. And it has some great, great, great features that makes it extremely comfortable. Now, Taylor's playability is second to none. If you don't know that, now you know. It's something we've talked about lots. Everybody who's played as a Taylor, every review you'll ever see, one thing that you'll always hear is that they play so well. And without getting into too much during this review, A lot of it deals with the way that they mount or connect the neck to the body. This neck is not glued in place. It's bolted in place using their patented NT neck joint. There's shims and pockets in the body under the heel of the neck and under the fretboard that allow this to be bolted in place. And those shims can be adjusted in 0.002 of an inch parameters. So you can ensure when you're building the guitar that the right fit is done with the correct angle from the neck to the bridge, ensuring great playability. Also, over the life of the guitar, say in 10, 15, 20 years, if the neck angle ever needs to be adjusted again, it can be done easily and painless. So that is part of the big reason why Taylors play so well. The other part of it is the nice thin neck that's not too thin. The neck is kind of a modern C shape, if you will. It's their own shape, their own design, and when Bob started out, people said, well, those necks are too thin. They're going to warp on you. Well, they didn't. And what it did was bring playability back into the realm of acoustic guitars. So since the 70s, Taylor's been building them right. The attention to the fretwork, the feel of the fretboard, everything is just fantastic. It's well-made guitar. In this particular case, it's a dreadnought shape that's a little smaller than a standard full-size dreadnought. In fact, this has the same silhouette as a Big Baby, if you're familiar with that body size from Taylor, but it's thicker. It's got a full heeled neck on there. This particular model has a pickup system, although this model is available without the pickup system. And is there anything that I'm leaving out on this guitar? Anything at all? Taylor left something out, actually. They left out this corner, and in doing so, they made a really wonderful curve, this armrest bevel that is kind of like the difference between playing a Telecaster and a Strat. It's really, really, really comfortable. So when you sit here and you drape your arm over the side of the guitar, you don't have a right angle digging into your elbow. It's really comfortable. Did I say it's really comfortable? It's also got a solid spruce top on it with scalloped bracing, and it's a shorter scale. It's 24 3/4 inch scale. So overall, the frets are going to be a little bit closer together. The strings are going to feel a little bit slinkier. You can get it in this Academy 10. They also have an Academy 12, which is a smaller grand concert size, and an Academy 12 nylon version, which are going to be coming to market very soon here as well. These are so popular, along with other series from Taylor, that they're kind of eking out of the factory as fast as they can possibly build them. So if you're starting out and you want something that's super comfortable for you, this is probably the guitar. And going along with that, it's got that wonderful Taylor shimmer and projection that they are known for as well. So let's take a listen. So the final guitar on our list is also from Taylor. It's the Taylor 114E. By the way, before I move on to this guitar, I forgot to mention that Academy 10 is available for $499 without a pickup, $599 with a pickup and a tuner built in. And it's using Taylor's proprietary ES2 pickup technology. So really great option. Its big brother now is the 100 series, which has gotten some makeover for 2017. It's the Extreme Makeover Edition, but we don't have a bus to move. Anyway, it's overall a really great guitar. So this is the 114E. It is the Grand Auditorium version within the 100 series from Taylor. You can also get this in a CE version, which adds a cutaway, or in the 110E and 10CE, which is a dreadnought version of this guitar. The dreadnought version is basically just as wide and deep as this, but the waist is narrower on a Grand Auditorium and less, or basically shallower on a dreadnought. The dreadnought gives you a bit more thump, perfect for strumming and picking. The Grand Auditorium is more kind of your do-all guitar. It handles strumming and moderate flat picking as well as fingerstyle really, really well. For 2017, They've kept the shapes in the lineup. The ES2 pickup is there. You still get a wonderful gig bag with it. It's scalloped bracing with the solid spruce top. That bracing has been reworked and tweaked a bit. I wasn't really able to say much about that when we did our full review of this guitar earlier this year, but it does have some new bracing which has given it some more resonance. And the big news for this year is the back and sides are now figured walnut. Isn't that pretty? It's just, I'm going to do the Vanna thing right now. It's so pretty. So the figured walnut is, it's laminate, so it's not going to impact the tone of the guitar a great deal, but it is really quite a looker. Previously on this guitar, it was sapele. If you don't remember sapele, that's sapele. And sapele tends to look a lot like mahogany. And while they're great tone widths, they kind of look boring. Walnut, on the other hand, is probably in a Jaguar in your neighborhood somewhere, or some high-end BMW, because it's a wonderful looking wood. So it's nice that Taylor has utilized this beautiful walnut, this uber kind of BMW grade walnut that's on this guitar, with this wonderful satin finish, because it gives you a little extra. And it shows that this guitar has moved up scale a little bit with the bracing and whatnot. So this is now the most affordable, full-size acoustic guitar in Taylor's lineup. Every model comes with Taylor's ES2 pickup system. Every model has a solid spruce top with scallop bracing, and every model just plays like stank. It's like butter. It's like a hot knife cutting through butter. Hot knife cutting through butter and going on a nice warm croissant. I'm getting hungry, so let's play the guitar so you can hear what it sounds like. Hey, thanks for watching our video. This is in no way an exhaustive list of available acoustic guitars in these price points at all. And this time we weren't really focusing on price. We were looking for them anywhere about $300 up to about $700. What would be a great value? Again, we're looking for three things. Something that plays well, sounds good, and speaks to a lot of value in what you're getting, and was fairly new for last year or this year. If you have any questions at all, contact us. Go online to alamomusic.com and check all the pricing and specs on these. Give us a call, send us an email. We want to help put the right guitar in your hands. We want to help you get the guitar that's going to help foster creativity and music ability in your life, because that's going to bring joy to you, it's going to bring joy to others around you, and that's what we're all about, helping you discover music. So, as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.